This is the central London control room of Inmarsat, and you can see here some of the data that they've released today. Here, for example, 0019 log-on request reported as partial handshake. That's the last time anyone heard from this aircraft. And over here, two interesting key columns. First of all, the burst timing offset. Well, that is literally how much time it took for the signal to go from a ground station up to a satellite to the aircraft and back again. And that tells them how far away the aircraft was from the satellite. And then burst frequency offset, which tells them whether the aircraft was going towards the satellite or away from the satellite. And ultimately, using these two columns and the milliseconds they're dealing with here, is how they worked out that this aircraft flew south and ended up off the coast of Australia. Now, Chris, to a layman, this is very complex. It's just a series of columns and numbers. Can you explain exactly what we're looking at? What is new about this data today, and what does it tell us?
First and outset, there's nothing new. The data is the data. It is an extrapolation from the 7 points of our network connecting with the aircraft while it was still in the air. It just simply helps to build a picture. It is not the complete picture.
There's been a lot of criticism, especially from the families, that it's taken too long to release this data. So why has it taken so long?
I don't think there was any decision to hide anything. The mechanism for an air crash investigation is complicated, it's regulated, it's under a convention from the Montreal Convention, and it has a set of requirements on it. The national government of the registered plane has to be the focus of the investigation. In this case it was Malaysia, and I would imagine it was a first for them, and the first time they've had to deal with something this complex.
In effect, were you ready to release the numbers quicker than the Malaysians actually put them out there?
Well, we released the data to the investigation through the Air Accident Investigation Board some weeks ago. Our position then was simple, which was we're not allowed to release the data anywhere else because as part of the investigation team, as a technical advisor to the AIB, we then have to wait for the Malaysian investigation to disseminate the information.
Now, there's been some criticism today that you haven't put everything out there, that there's not enough data there for independent people to look at it, experts, and say, yes, I agree with their analysis, or I don't agree with their analysis. Is all the data out there?
All of what's been called the raw data is out there. What we published today with the Malaysians and with support from the Australians is a simple explanation of what the data is. We could put out rows of bare byte level data, but it'll be meaningless.
How confident are you that it flew south?
I'm going to say our scientists are very confident. They have told me that they're very confident, and equally 4 other key sources and industry sources have drawn the same conclusions from their own models using our data and other data they had. A very strong correlation with the south.